اللعين الرجيم. بفضل الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام را. تلك آيات الكتاب المبين. إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون. نحن نقص عليك أحسن القصص بما أوحينا إليك هذا القرآن وإن كنت من قبله لمن الغافلين. إذ قال يوسف لأبيه يا أبت إني رأيت 11 كوكبا والشمس والقمر رأيتهم لي ساجدين. قال يا بني لا تقصص رؤياك على إخوتك فيكيدوا لك كيدا إن الشيطان للإنسان عدو مبين. وكذلك يجتبيك ربك ويعلمك من تأويل الأحاديث ويتم نعمته عليك وعلى آل يعقوب كما أتمها على أبويك من قبل إبراهيم وإسحاق إن ربك عليم حكيم. لقد كان في يوسف وإخوته آيات للسائلين إذ قالوا ليوسف وأخوه أحب إلى أبينا منا ونحن عصبة إن أبانا لفي ضلال مبين. اقتلوا يوسف أو اطرحوه أرضا يخل لكم وجه أبيكم وتكونوا من بعده قوما صالحين. قال قائل منهم لا تقتلوا يوسف وألقوه في غيابة الجب يلتقطه بعض السيارة إن كنتم فاعلين. قالوا يا أبانا ما لك لا تأمنا على يوسف وإنا له لناصحون. أرسله معنا غدا يرتع ويلعب وإنا له لحافظون. قال إني ليحزنني أن تذهبوا به وأخاف أن يأكله الذئب وأنتم عنه غافلون. قالوا لئن أكله الذئب ونحن عصبة إنا إذا لخاسرون. فلما ذهبوا به وأجمعوا أن يجعلوه في غيابة الجب وأوحينا إليه لتنبئنهم بأمرهم هذا وهم لا يشعرون. وجاءوا أباهم عشاء يبكون. قالوا يا أبانا إنا ذهبنا نستبق وتركنا يوسف عند متاعنا فأكله الذئب وما أنت بمؤمن لنا ولو كنا صادقين. وجاءوا على قميصه بدم كذب قال بل سولت لكم أنفسكم أمرا فصبر جميل، والله المستعان على ما تصفون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بفضل الله، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله والحمد حقه كما يستحقه حمدا كثيرا. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. اللهم لعن أول ظالم ظلم حق محمد وآل محمد وآخر تابع له على ذلك. اللهم لعن العصابة التي جاهدت الحسين وشايعت وبايعت وتابعت على قتله. اللهم لعنهم جميعا. ثم الصلاة والسلام على خير خلق الله أجمعين محمد. أحسنت. وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين، واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. قال الله العظيم في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم: ومن يعش عن ذكر الرحمن نقيد له شيطانا فهو له قرين وإنهم ليصدونهم عن السبيل ويحسبون أنهم مهتدون حتى إذا جاءنا قال يا ليت بيني وبينك بعد المشرقين فبئس القرين. And whoever turns himself away from the remembrance of the beneficent Allah, we appoint for him a shaitan so he becomes his associate. And most surely they turn them away from the path, and they think that they are guided aright. Until when he comes to us, he says, oh, would that be between me and you there were the distance of the east and the west. So evil is the associate. آمنا بالله. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. We mentioned upon creation that when you are created, you have no choice with your appearance, your physical abilities, your strengths, your weaknesses. Likewise, you have no choice with those that will be bonded to you by blood. You don't choose who your father will be. You don't choose who your mother will be. You don't choose who your siblings will be. This is something that's appointed and given to you. So there's no choice in the matter here. Even when it comes to the fraternity and the brotherhood, alaykum assalam, that we have, even when it comes to this brotherhood that we have, that brings you together, comes through the acceptance of Islam. People come towards the Islamic faith, it brings them together. But even with the brotherhood, within it there's an exclusive association. There are those that you take as your peers, as your associates, as your friends, your confidants, the people that you see as the truest of brothers. These are the people that I spend most of my time around, other than my family. The other thing that I must keep in mind about these people that I choose to be my friends, you need to understand, when a couple come together, a man and a wife, they come into matrimony, into marriage, they start to mold each other to bring their similarities as close together as possible. Why? Because then you're in your comfort zone. So the person around you, your spouse, if they do things that irritate you, it makes living uncomfortable. So when I have friends, I like my friends to have similarities to me. I like them to be the same. So I look for these types of people. I associate with these types of people. And your friends likewise want you, alaykum salam, to be like them. And is it necessary, firstly, for me to have these friends? Is it necessary for me to have friends? And secondly, is a bad friend better or no friends better? The other thing, when we talk about friends, we are told that this friend that wants to be with you, as I mentioned earlier, wants you to be like them. So I need to find someone that I'm closely related to, as closely as can be. Now, looking at the qualities of these people, inshallah tonight we're going to look at the bad friends. And what are the qualities of a bad friend and a bad person to have as a brother and to associate with. This is so important, and I'll explain why as we move along. It's more important for me to disassociate with a bad friend than it is for me to associate with a good friend. So for me to cut off a bad friend is much more important. Have you ever seen these people? They go into prison, they come out of prison, what do? They hook up with their old mates. Where are they going back? To prison. That's what's going to happen, because that's how they got there in the first place. And a friend, a bad friend, they're not discernible. You know, they're not easily for you discernible in appearance, I'm saying. That you can't distinguish a bad friend just by looking at them. You can't just say, hold on, this guy looks really bad. He's got horns poking out of his head. Look at the size of those canines. He looks evil. They don't look like that. There's no imagery. Generally, when we have the imagery of the devil, wherever you look, they always make the devil look vicious when they mention a monster. But honestly, if I showed you, you have a picture of any world leader right now, they look normal. They look like normal human beings. They don't have fingers sticking out of their head. They don't have things that make them look vicious. They look normal human beings like you and I. They're not people that you can in any way see differently. That's why, if you look even in the Bible, where it will talk about beware of the wolf in sheep's clothing, because they appear to be normal, but they're not. Or even when they were looking for people that would commit crimes against, like mass murders, they'd always look for what they call a sleeper cell. You know, the sleeper cell would be the guy that looks like everybody. Like, for example, with 9/11, they said that the guys that perpetrated the actual crime, you know, no conspiracy theories here right now, but the people that actually perpetrated the crime were at a strip club the night before. They were just normal people being there, showing that we're like everybody else, and then suddenly that evil side is displayed. When we're told not to associate with bad people, we wonder why. Like, for example, if someone says to you, don't walk with this person or don't hang around with that person, sometimes you think, why? But when someone advises you that's older, generally a parent, or someone that's wiser, they have a reason. They don't have to tell you. They don't have to spell it out. They just say, listen. Sometimes a father will tell his son, listen, see this guy, don't want you hanging out with him anymore. And the son says, why not? He's a nice bloke. The father says, I don't have to tell you everything. You know, there's a reason why. There's a reasons. And they come out, and I can see them. I can see these qualities. For example, in one of the narrations where the Imam says to his son, and the Imam who is speaking about this is Imam Mohammed ibn Ali al-Baqir salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala. So he says to his son, because the Imam narrates, Imam al-Baqir says that my father, قال لي Ali ibn al-Hussein. So Imam al-Baqir said, my father, Imam Zain al-Abidin, told me this. Ya bunay, انظر خمسة فلا تصاحبهم. He says to him, there are 5, rather than use Enid Blyton's famous 5, we'll call them the infamous 5. There are 5, he says, do not accompany them. In fact, he says, وَلَا تُحَادِثْهُم. Do not even talk to them. You know those people, you say, yeah, how you going? Just keep walking. He says, do not even talk to them. He says, وَلَا تُرَافِقْهُمْ فِي الطَّرِيقِ. So if you're going somewhere, you know sometimes you go to the airport and then you meet another Aussie, but he's someone that you wouldn't even put out if he was on fire. You know those people, you wouldn't feed them. If you know those people that you just wouldn't, but you go, he's another Aussie, I can hang out with him, he can be my road partner. He says, even that, don't take them as your travel partner. Don't even take these people as travel partners. He says, Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam says to his father, Imam Zain al-Abidin, فَقُلْتُ يَا أَبَا مَنْ هُمْ. Who are these 5 people that I should not associate with? The first one, he says, إِيَّاكَ وَمُصَاحَبَةَ الْكَذَّابِ. The first one he mentions is the liar. Why? The first one he says is the liar. Do not associate with the liar. He says, فَإِنَّهُ بِمَنْزِلَةِ السَّرَابِ. That the liar is like a mirage. What is a mirage? A mirage is, you know, when you go, if you're in a desert, you have what's called an oasis. An oasis is sometimes in the desert, there'll be a water hole where people will drink, or there's water and you'll see some greenery and foliage there. That's called an oasis. But then sometimes, because of your thirst and the heat exhaustion, you will get like an imagery of water. You know, as you see, you know, when the heat when you see the heat waves coming off the land, it will move around and it looks like there's water there and people move towards it. That is a mirage. It's not there. It appears that there's water, but there isn't water. So they call that a mirage. The Imam says the liar is like a mirage. He says to him, يُقَرِّبُ لَكَ الْبَعِيدِ وَيُبَاعِدُ لَكَ الْقَرِيبِ. The liar, يُقَرِّبُ لَكَ الْبَعِيدِ. What's out of your hand, they'll bring it towards you. In other words, they'll say, yeah, basita, this is easy, it can be done. And there's no way that they're going to do it for you. You know, you've heard them, the one that says, Bukra subhan ikun andak. Tomorrow morning I'll be there. And he will not hear of him, alaykum salam. I've heard people once, especially like some tradesmen, I'm not saying all tradesmen, he'll tell you, hey, yeah, I'm 1 hour away. And 2 weeks later, before he calls you again. And they'll just say it, they'll say, I'm down the road. And he just won't turn up. So يُقَرِّبُ لَكَ الْبَعِيدِ. What's far, he'll bring it near. But what's near to you, he'll drive it away. The Imam says you do not need this person in your life. People, they'll associate with these people because sometimes they make them feel comfortable. Because these people, كُنُوا تَعْبَينِينَ عَلَى سَيْنٌ, we say, that they'll also say nice things to keep you happy. You know, أنت ما في مثلك. The first time he's ever met you in his life, أنت آدم أنت طاهر. Yeah, you know what? Someone thinks I'm awesome. So you start to hang around with this person. You like to be around them. Why? Because they use a lot of lip service and flattery. The second one, the Imam says, وَإِيَّاكَ وَمُصَاحَبَةَ الْفَاسِقِ. Al-Fasiq. Al-Fasiq is the libertine. When we say a libertine, you know the libertines, someone that's, so see all the synonyms for this, licentious, lascivious, profligate, all these words, someone that is a free thinker when it comes to religion. Doesn't care. In other words, they do what they want to do when it comes to religion. They don't care. Everything's mubah. You've met those people that say, in my beliefs, who the hell are you to be in your beliefs? In my religion, who are you? Nabi? You've come down with the laws? Whenever someone says, in my opinion, or what's your opinion? Who cares what your opinion is? Religion. You don't have an opinion. You have a look at the narrations when someone would say to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, they would say, is this yours or from you or from God? Or if you see when Nabi Musa, when he says to them, Inna Allah ya'murukum an tadhbahu baqara, calls for them to kill a cow. And they said, Atattakhiduna huzwa? Are you mucking around with us? You having a laugh? Is that what you're here for? And he said, قال أعوذ بالله أن أكون من الجاهلين. Do you think I'm of the ignorant to be mucking around or joking around? This is a commandment of God. Allah Azza wa Jal has commanded for this to take place. So someone like this, a fasiq, is someone that does what they want. They don't care. If it's halal, I'll eat it. If it's haram, I'll eat it. Doesn't matter what it is, I'll consume. They live that kind of life. They don't care. They have nothing constraining them. You have those friends, they don't care. You'll see him, he'll walk into a pub, he's got no issue. No issue whatsoever. Doesn't even worry. Meets a girl, kisses her on the cheek, shakes her hand, foreign to him, he doesn't care. There's no such thing as religion. The Imam says, why? He says, فَإِنَّهُ بَائِعُكَ بِأُقْلَةٍ أَوْ أَقَلْ مِنْ ذَلِكَ. This person that's immoral, this libertine, will sell you for uqla. You know what uqla is? It's not even akil. It's a morsel. Yani let me. When I say a morsel, it's not even a morsel. A scrap. He will sell you for a scrap. Have you ever seen that guy that once arrested in Iraq? He put a bomb in the marketplace, killing women, children, workers, all these people around, killed them. When they brought him to interrogate him, they said, how much were you paid to put this bomb? This wasn't a person, he wasn't a Wahhabi. This was a Shia person, in the sense that he's Shia by name, not Shia as in a person of religion. How much were you paid to put this bomb in the marketplace? He said to them, warqa. Warqa means $100 US. $100 US. He put a bomb in a marketplace to kill people for $100 US. Warqa. That's all he got paid. A morsel he'll sell you for. Someone that has no religion, like, they don't care. You ever noticed, like, in the world of crime, how they always say there's no honor among thieves. If you notice, like, someone gets caught and he's involved in a meth lab, for example, and he's been found in the meth lab, there's so much overwhelming evidence that he's there, and then 1 month later he walks. He doesn't even go to jail. How did he get out? There were 3 in the bed. The little one said, roll over. He rolled over on somebody. It's the only way he got out. That's the only way they get out. Because there's no honor. In this criminal world, there's no honor. Everyone snitches on somebody else to get out. People go like, we're brothers for life. We're tight. He'll never leave me. Nah. When he's looking at good time, he's not going to go do some time. They will sell each other out immediately. In fact, Amir al-Mu'mineen, when he says in his khutbah to Qumayl about who not to associate with, he says to him, وَهْجُرِ الْفَاسِقِينَ. Wahjur. You know what ahjur means? Doesn't mean don't befriend them. He says avoid them. When you have hijrah, you move, you migrate. It means to avoid, totally avoid them. Don't be around. This guy's fasiq, avoid them. He says, وَهْجُرَ الْفَاسِقِينَ وَجَانِبِ الْمُنَافِقِينَ وَلَا تُصَاحِبِ الْخَائِنِينَ. I was using the whole hadith there. In other words, to stay away, janib means also to stay away. وَلَا تُصَاحِبْ, and do not stay away from the hypocrites. وَلَا تُصَاحِبِ الْخَائِنِينَ, and do not befriend those that are treacherous. But we're talking about here the immoral person. Absolutely abstain from them. In one of the narrations, where Amir al-Mu'mineen's asked, was still under the second person of question, they asked the Imam, he was asked, أَيُّ صَاحِبُ الشَّرِّ عَفْوًا أَيُّ صَاحِبُ الشَّرِّ. Which one, when we say أَيُّ صَاحِبُ الشَّرِّ, which is the worst companion? What is the worst person you can have as a friend? The Imam says, Al-Muzayyinu laka ma'asiyatillah. The one that does what when it comes to, you know when they make television shows about crime, what do they actually do to the shows? Glamorize, glorify. The ones that glamorize or glorify criminals are who? He says they're the worst companions. Anyone that glamorizes or glorifies what? A sin. Makes it look, appetizing. You know when someone says a story about a sin and makes it appetizing to you. This is the worst friend you can have. The worst person you can be around. These all fall under the heading of the immoral person. The third person, the Imam says, وَإِيَّاكَ وَمُصَاحَبَةِ الْبَخِيلِ. Who's he talking about here? Do not befriend al-bakhil. Al-bakhil is the miser. The real meaning of a miser is the one that lives, he's got money but he lives poor. Why does he live poor? Because he doesn't want to spend. Why? The Imam says, يَخْذُلُكَ فِي مَالِهِ أَحْوَجَ مَا تَكُونُ إِلَيْهِ. That this person will prevent you from the wealth at the time when you need it most. That befriending this person is of no value, it's of no benefit whatsoever. In fact, they're the worst people to be around when you want to give, when you're going to give fi sabilillah. Anytime, those people that sit there, they feel like you just took it out of their pocket. You say you're about to give $1,000 to a charity. Do you trust these people you're giving the money to? What's it to you? You don't want to pay, don't pay. Who are you to, if you see someone giving money to a rich person, who are you to stop them? Sometimes you'll see people, they look rich, but they're poor. And this other person is someone that has more knowledge in this matter and knows where he's paying this money. There's one hadith where a man comes to sell something or to give something to Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. And he gives him this item, and the Imam gives him I think gives him 5 bags of gold. 5 bags and a piece, I think, of gold. That's what he gives him. So the man takes this gold, and the person standing behind the Imam says, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, this person really didn't want any money for what he gave you. You didn't have to give him all this money. So the Imam looks at him and he says, لا كثر الله من ضربك من المسلمين من ضربك. He said, may Allah not increase or have more Muslims like you and your way. And then he actually says to him, أعطي أنا وتبخل أنت. I'm the one that's giving and you're the one being stingy for my money. From me, you're the one that's been stingy on my behalf. There are people that prevent you from this. A miser feels this way. On the contrary, if I see my brother giving in the way of God, I should be happy that they're giving in the way of God. I should be excited that they're giving in the way of God. Why? Because my brother is turning out the fire in his grave. I should be happy for him. He's putting out this fire. He wants to give. Give. You're not giving from your pocket. Allah Azza wa Jal is the one that grants you. Allah Azza wa Jal is the one that replaces you. Befriend a miser, they will prevent you from even this. The fourth one, the Imam says, إِيَّاكَ وَمُصَاحَبَةَ الْأَحْمَقِ, is the fool. Now the fool is one of those terms that people misunderstand. A fool isn't someone that's, if we want to say, is slow-witted. A fool isn't someone that's slow-witted, A fool is someone that's imprudent, if you say injudicious. Someone that doesn't apply wisdom to things. Like if you tell this person, for example, I was sitting with a group of my family members last night, and I mentioned that these people that go to work and they are cutting metal or they're doing something, and they don't wear safety goggles. Like, this is what we're talking about. This guy doesn't wear safety goggles, leaves himself with a chance of a splinter going into his eye. This is what I'm saying. You're not using wisdom. It's not brave. You know, like when you see someone, for example, he's on the 8th floor and he's fitting an AC in one of the Middle Eastern countries. You know, I'm not going to say which one, but others probably do it too. And there's no safety measure taken whatsoever. And you turn around and you say, brother, you know, you could fall. You should have something. You have some kind of a brace, or what do they call it? The thing, harness. That's it. See, I thought they were only for reindeers, but anyway. So you have some kind of a harness, and you won't fall. And you'll look at you, shumfakkirni jaban. What do you think? I'm a coward? This isn't about cowardice. This is what we're talking about, foolishness. The Imam says, do not befriend the fool. Why, he says, فَإِنَّهُ يُرِيدُ أَنْ يَنْفَعَكَ فَيَضُرُّكَ. That this person tries to benefit you, but they harm you instead. Why? Because they don't use this wisdom when it comes to application. They think this is how I'm going to solve this problem. They don't realize when they try and solve this problem, they try to help you, they cause you more problems. They cause you more harm. So someone that doesn't use wisdom in judgment, and you hear a lot of people that hang out with these types of people. You've been scarred from these kind of incidents, you know, for hanging out with people that don't use wisdom. And these people, they like hanging out with people like that. These people that throw caution to the wind when they act in this manner. Finally, the Imam says the 5th type of people that you should not associate with. He says, وَإِيَّاكَ وَمَصَاحَبَةِ الْقَاطِعِ لِرَحِمِهِ. He says, woe unto you, and being a friend of the one that severs the ties with his kin, that cuts off his family. Why? He says, فَإِنِّي وَجَدْتُهُ مَلْعُونًا فِي كِتَابِ اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ فِي 3 مواضع. And I don't want to read them. There are 3 verses where he says, I've seen it. The Imam says, in the book of God, Allah curses them in 3 places. How does that affect me? If they're cursed in the book of God, what does la'an mean? La'an, Allah says that these people are mal'unin or mal'unun, means that the mercy of Allah has been removed from these people. And when you're with them, you're in the vicinity when lightning is going to strike. Why would you want to be around these people? وَمَا فِي عَنْدُ خَيْرٍ, as we say, has no good to his family, he's not going to have good for you. If he's cut off his family, you see some people, you ask them, like, they're not talking to their, you know, when I ask someone, why don't you talk to a family member? You expect they're going to tell you something dynamic. And they tell you, you know, last Sunday, he was supposed to turn up at my place, and he instead went to go see my other cousin. So don't talk to him anymore. Something like that. It's something so trivial and frivolous, and you start thinking to yourself, is he serious? They cut off family members for something that has no meaning. Taban, there are laws when it comes to this. There are times where ties are severed. But these are extreme laws. They're not laws that for everyday things. So we mentioned before that you cannot see through appearance. And if we were to look at a monster, if you look at an ogre, only a donkey would befriend an ogre. But if you were to see an ogre, no one would go near the ogre. You see a monster, you'd stay away. We get advice from people around us. When we're going to go into business with someone, we'll say, should I go into business with this person? And the people around you give you advice. And you can see these qualities when you mix with these people, when you mingle with these people. But why is it bad for me to have bad friends? This is a question. See, all these things, I gave you several reasons. Something people forget is bad qualities are contagious. When we say they're contagious, like right now, we've got our coronavirus, COVID, and we're doing all this safety, spacing, whatever they call it. What is it called? What's the word? Social distancing. You know, I always forget the jargon that they use because, you know, they get some consultant that probably gives them the jargon. So the social distancing, where we're not allowed to sit within 4 square meters from each other, etc., unless we're related and we live in the same house. Why? Why is it, if we look at the majority of people, are they healthy or do they have coronavirus? Why is it health is not contagious, but illness is? Why is it if I put a bad apple in a box, the whole box will go bad, that apple won't go good? Have you ever noticed that? In fact, in a hadith Qudsi, Allah Azza wa Jal speaks to Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam. He says, Ya Isa, اعلم أن صاحب السوء يعدي. He says, know that a bad friend is infectious. A bad friend's infectious. They affect you. You've heard the saying, if you lie down with dogs, you get up with fleas. They have that effect. When you have a bad friend, they will bring you with them. And this is where he says to him also, وَقَرِينَ السُّوء يُرْدِي. See, the bad friend's infectious. A qareen, that this person that you associate with, that is not good, yurdi means he will destroy you. Because we have a lot of people that like to hang out with who? With criminals. You know, if I know a bad guy, he'll get my back when I have a problem. You know, I've got connections with this group, I've got connections with that group. And the Imam says to his son in another hadith, Imam Zain al-Abidin, he says, Ya bunay, man yashab sahib as-su' la yaslam. Whoever has a bad friend will not be safe. Because the bad friend, you know, you look at criminals, who do they commit crimes against? Other criminals. That's the first people they commit a crime against. They get another criminal. Why? Because they don't go to the police. They're not going to go to the white picket fence and enter a house where there's 2 tax-paying individuals and come and commit crime against them. The first thing these people are going to do is call 000. It's done. Whereas in the underworld, you do whatever you want to everyone else, and you know, snitches get stitches, and it ends there, so no one talks. And that's where it finishes. So man yashab sahib as-su' la yaslam. Because if you're in the game, you're in it for life. You're involved there till you get out again. The thing is, how is it contagious and why is it even worse than a disease? If I take a look at, if someone was to give you off milk, someone gave you a bottle of milk, you're about to pour for your cereal, you get the bottle, you smell it. If the milk's off, does it have a smell? Of course, it's a horrible smell. But still you pour it in, and all these lumps and things just fall into the cereal and you eat it. Does it have an off taste? You continue to eat it. It goes in your belly. Do you feel that feeling when it hits your belly? Yes. Then you get it becomes nauseating. And then you might have runny bowels. And all this, yet you see the effect it has on your body from beginning to end. The smell, the taste, the feeling, the illness. With a bad friend, it is a direct route to the soul. It strikes the soul, not the body. It hits the soul. And it's like when you watch something that is bad, it immediately you feel there's this black shadow went over your soul. You feel this darkness. You were visited when you watch something that's wrong. When you have bad friends, they entice you. Just like the brothers here. A lot of them, they come to centers or lectures, they come with other people. Because these people encourage you to turn up. There are people that encourage you to do the opposite. You go, I'm going to go to the center. They say, no, listen, let's go watch the game. Or let's avoid, I'm not saying they take you to go do something haram. Let's just avoid going to the center. They just want to move you away. There's one story I remember I heard a long time ago about this youth who was enticed by his friends on Laylat al-Jum'ah. And this isn't someone living in Sydney. This is someone living in the holy cities, one of the holy cities in the Middle East. And this is an old story, not a new story. This story was, I think it was narrated back from the 1970s or something around then. And he said that on Laylat al-Jum'ah, these people were living in a holy city, so they were going to the shrine, they were visiting, and they do Du'a Qumayl Laylat al-Jum'ah. And one Laylat al-Jum'ah, he said his friends came up to him and said, listen, let's give it a skip, we're going to go to the cinema together. Now when I say the cinema, back in those days, the cinema wasn't watching what you watch on the movies today. Well, it could have been, because of the standards that they've come to. But they were watching movies that were of illicit nature. And he said, no, this isn't what I want to do. His friends kept pushing him in this direction. He's the one that narrates the story. He says eventually he went and he witnessed the movie with them. He returned, he was upset, he wept, why did I even go there? And he came back, he spoke to one of the ulama. The ulama told him, repent, do this amal, fast or whatever, make up for it. He said the next week or the week after, his friends came and said, do you want to go again? He said the second time it felt easier to go. The first time he felt like he was going against everything in his essence in going in this direction. See, they had already put their mark on him. And because he didn't cut them off, they were able to affect him again. See, when you have encountered a problem, look for the root of that problem. Why did I do this thing? Who was I with at the time? Did this person prevent me from doing this thing? Or was this person say, Ahla wa sahla, come with me? And you said, why not? Let me just go with this person. This is where the introductory verse comes in. وَمَنْ يَعْشُ عَنْ ذِكْرِ الرَّحْمَنِ. Those that have turned themselves away from the remembrance of God. Because when you turn away from the remembrance of God, Allah Azza wa Jal gives you these associates. He says, نُقَيِّدْ لَهُ شَيْطَانًا فَهُوَ لَهُ قَرِينٌ. The shaitan that you're given isn't a devil, like I said, with the pointy tail and pitchfork. It's another human being that is with you. And then when the time comes from the day of judgment, you say, only if you were further from me, then sunrise is from sunset. That's how far you want to be away from this person. فَبِئْسَ الْقَرِينُ. Take a look at all the things you've ever done in your life. Where you've done something wrong, look at the people you're with. Those egging you on to do it. Come on, let's just do this. Khalas, you're a coward, you're this, you go, no, I'm not a coward, I can do this. That's right. Go ahead, be strong, you move in this direction. And then take a look at all the times you were doing something good, look at the people that were around you. Think about it, who do you want to be with on the day of judgment? I get this all the time, I sit with someone and they'll say to me, oh my God, I like this person. I remember this, one of the classes I had, and one of this young ladies, she goes to me, I love Selena Gomez. So I said to her, do you want to be with Selena Gomez on the day of judgment? She froze. She said, what's wrong with her? I said, do you want to be with her on the day of judgment? It's a very hard question, you know that. Imam Ali alayhi salam says, if you even love a rock, you'll be placed with the rock on the day of judgment. A rock. If you love a stone, you'll be with this stone on the day of judgment. Everyone you think about, the people you love and associate with, do you want to be with them on the day of judgment? That's something you need to think about. This world is terminal. So when it comes to the people I choose and associate with, they're the people I want to be around. I want to be around people that bring me to good. Inshallah, next week we'll be talking about the qualities of good friends. What we have to look for, and give you the example of the greatest friend or brother that you can have. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to associate us with those who are righteous, and to keep us away from those that are vicious and those that have no regard for His law. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make us of the associates of the Ansar of the Imam Sahib al-Amr wa Zaman al-Mehdi, and to hasten his reappearance. Also, before I get into the dua, I have been told there are two people that are ill and will want me to read the verse for them, and to read it for all those that are ill, that are related to everyone here and our believing brothers and sisters. So we read Amman Yujib 5 times. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. يا الله 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 يا Allah. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to cure all the sick, all those, in the name of Al-Muttar Al-Hujjat ibn Al-Hasan Al-Mahdi. We ask Allah to fulfill the needs of all those that have asked. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal not to take us from this world until He is pleased with our actions. We ask Allah to forgive us our sins and our discrepancies and our misdemeanors and any small action that we have, not to take us out of this world with even a speck that we will be trialed for. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to hasten the reappearance of our master Al-Hujjat ibn Al-Hasan Al-Mahdi. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma kun li waliyika Al-Hujjat ibn Al-Hasan عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وإلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات وإلى أرواح موتانا وموتاكم، رحم الله من قرأ سورة المباركة الفاتحة مع الصلوات.